You don't always have to go far from home to enjoy the beauty of Wisconsin's outdoors. And this week, we're talking about Big Eau Pleine County Park. Hello again and welcome back to another episode of Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. I am your host, Jason. And I know what you're thinking. On your last podcast, you said it'd be about 2 weeks in between podcasts. And okay, it's been over 2 weeks. But let me explain that a little bit. Things have been busy for me. The kids have been playing softball. We've been working on a few personal projects around the house. To give you a little background, my wife has started an Etsy store where she makes handcrafted items. And we've been working hard to grow that business with social media and getting her name out there so that we can grow that as a side business. And I've also been trying to grow my side business a little bit. I do some photography work and some video work on the side. So the last couple of weeks, we've been kind of focusing on that a little bit more. And, you know, there's only so much time in the day. So I'd appreciate it if you go check out her Etsy store. It's Simply Sewn by Katie. And if you're interested in getting some photography work done, some videography work, check out my side business, Midnight Sun Productions. It's at midnightsunprod.com. I will put links to both of those in this episode's show notes. So I guess you could kind of say that those have been my first sponsors of this podcast, are my wife and I's side business. So that's kind of where I've been the last couple of weeks. We've been working on, like I said, we've been working on those, getting those up and running a little bit more and trying to navigate the waters of Etsy stores and social media a little bit better as far as a marketing tool. So that's where we've been, but I have not forgotten about you. I'm still working on producing some great content for the podcast. I've got some feelers out to some potential guests that I'm really excited to hear back from, and I think you are going to enjoy their stories when they tell you, because again, that's my goal with this podcast, is to not so much give you tips about things, but to give you more ideas of places to explore in Wisconsin, but also to tell you stories of explorers from Wisconsin and people who are out doing the things that you want to check out and find more information of. So I'm working on a few of those right now, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them. So if you listen to this podcast, you know who you are. Get back to me so we can get you on this podcast and share your stories. And if you know anybody who would have a great story to share, please send them to the webpage, send them to my Facebook page, have them message me, and I would be glad to talk to them. I think it's important to tell those stories so that you can be inspired too about what to do in Wisconsin. Today, I'm going back to county parks. Now, I've done some podcasts on county parks, talking about where we've been and some of the great things about them, and I want to continue that because I think we put a lot of emphasis on our state parks in Wisconsin, and we should. Our state parks are a great way to see the state and see different geography throughout the state and just really get a taste for what Wisconsin is all about. But I think sometimes we forget about these county parks. You know, some of them are bigger than others. They also offer a unique way to get out and see and experience the outdoors in Wisconsin. And I am fortunate enough to live in Marathon County, and we have a lot of great county parks. And one of those county parks that I want to talk to you today about is the Big Eau Pleine County Park. Now, one of the reasons we enjoy Big Eau Pleine is that it's kind of fairly close to where I live. It's only about 15 minutes from my home, so it's very convenient for us to just, on a whim, decide to go and visit. But probably the main reason we really enjoy Big Eau Pleine Park is how much diversity that it offers. The first few times we visited, we just went there to go fishing. And my oldest daughter, she's just starting to get into fishing. She loves fishing. So we're easing her into it, so to speak. You know, we're not buying a lot of equipment. We're just going close where we can and just taking her to a few places and seeing how much she likes it. And the first few times we visited, we took her there just to go fishing. What's nice about this area is you really don't even have to get into the park to fish. Now, what I mean is, when you come into Big Eau Pleine Park, for those of you that are not familiar with where Big Eau Pleine County Park is, I should start right there. It is just west of Mosinee and south of 153. If you're traveling west onto 153 from Mosinee, you'll see the signs of Big Eau Pleine County Park. And if you pass Highway 107 going towards Marathon, you went too far, you have to go back. It's right before you get to Highway 107 going to Marathon. So it's really a convenient park. Now you're going to travel about 3.5 miles south of 153 into the park. And it's kind of funny because you're driving in and it's really just a lot of farmland. And once you finally do get back into the park, that's where you see the woods and you see the water as you drive into the park. But before you even get into the park, you're going to see these little kind of nicely cut out areas where you can pull off and fish, and you're not going to be on top of one each other. There's trees all around kind of separating you, but each one is a little different. Some are pretty small where you just pull your car in, park, and fish, and some of them offer little shelters with picnic tables and fire pits. So if you wanted to, you could grab one of those and you can pretty much make a day out of one of these little convenient stops. You could invite the family over, have a fire, have lunch. It's a really convenient way to just pull off and fish for the day or just enjoy the water. And, you know, if you wanted, you could put a kayak in the water right there and just enjoy Big Eau Pleine Park by not even getting into the park. So that was kind of a unique thing that I always kind of liked about this park, that you didn't have to get in very far to enjoy some of the things. And I'm going to say, once you get in even this early into it, the views around the water are just beautiful. If you're a photographer or if you're a drone pilot, it offers some really, really nice views for you to get the camera out and take some nice pictures. And we've always found different things every time we go there. You know, there's eagles flying around and there's fish jumping out of the water. And it really hits you already before you even get into the main part of the park. So that's one of the neat things about this park is, like I said, you drive in and you're not even into the park yet and you're already able to pull off and fish. Now, if you're into more boat fishing and not so much shore fishing, because that's what these coves offer, is more shore fishing. Like I said, unless you have a kayak, a pedal kayak, something like that you can put in the water. But if you're into, getting the boat in the water, this park offers 3 different boat launches. So there's plenty of space for you to get your boat in the water and enjoy some fishing on the Big Eau Pleine Reservoir. That's what surrounds this park, the Big Eau Pleine Reservoir. So, and I've been told there's some really great fishing out there, and there's a lot of water, so you're not going to be on top of each other. There's plenty of room if you've got a good-sized boat, too, to get out there and just enjoy a day on the lake. Now, one of the other things that we really enjoy about this park is the amount of trails it offers, and not just hiking trails. Big Eau Pleine offers horse trails, mountain biking trails, and, of course, walking trails. And they offer, according to their website, it's about 12 miles of developed trails. You could really spend a nice long day there doing a lot of hiking or biking or horseback riding. And we went bike riding there a few weeks ago, honestly, and we really enjoyed it. We decided we were going to try to take some of the mountain biking trails, and we started off pretty well. Now, the mountain biking trails are exactly what you'd think. They are mountain biking trails. You're going through the woods, you're going over routes, you're going up and down little kind of, I would say, little valleys and hills and stuff, but nothing big. But they were fun for the older kids, but more of a challenge for the younger kids. So we didn't end up staying on those trails too long. And on the day we were there, we were able to kind of use the horse trail and the walking trail as far as our biking trail goes. Now, I'm not sure we were supposed to do that. So full disclosure, we just did it because we were already deep into the woods and we needed to get back to the truck. But still, we didn't run into anybody. And if we would have been completely respectful if they would have been horseback riding or anything like that. So just be wary that I'm not sure we were supposed to be on those trails, but those trails were very smooth. They were well groomed, and they were really actually perfect for bike riding. And we really enjoyed our time through there. And one of the nice things about these trails is you're pretty much into the woods. You don't see a lot of water when you're on some of these trails, but the wildlife. We saw squirrels, we saw deer, we saw fawns. It's that time of the year where the fawns are out. So the girls were really excited about seeing all that stuff, while we were bike riding, and we had a really good time. Now, I can see maybe when the girls are a little bit older, I think we'd probably head back to the mountain biking trails and challenge ourselves there a little bit more. Because honestly, I kind of liked it. It was kind of a fun challenge for me. I don't do a lot of mountain biking. We do more road biking and trail ride, where you've got the railroad trails, you know what I'm talking about, the smoother trails. So this was kind of a different experience for the whole family, and some of us enjoyed it more than others, but it is definitely another thing to this park that was really, really intriguing. And when we were there were people packing up their horses, so they had been out on the trails with their horses. And I think one of the things about why this is so well for something like that too is it's quiet. It's really a quiet park. The trails are not close to where the campgrounds are, so you're not riding your bike and there's campers just off to the distance. You're very kind of secluded in this park, and this park isn't small. The park is, according to their website again, is just over 1,400 acres. So there's a lot of park to explore here, and you can make a day out of it. You could bike half the trails, take a picnic lunch, go fishing for a little bit, go bike some more, and there's a lot to do. But if biking and hiking isn't your thing and you're more of a camper, this park is for you as well, because this park offers over 100 different campsites. They're all more along the southern unit, kind of mixed in there, but we drove through a couple times where they were camping. We didn't want to disturb a lot of people, so we just kind of nosily drove through there where you could see the campers. We're just off to the water a little bit, and some were a little closer to the water. It's what you expect out of a county park for camping, but it didn't look like people were on top of each other. It looked like they were spread out. There was a lot of room for a lot of different people. When you have a park like Big Eau Pleine, there's a lot of things to do and a lot of activities to keep you busy, and that's one of the highlights of going here and camping for a weekend or staying here for a week. They have a disc golf area, so if you're in the disc golf, they've got that going on. They've got playground areas and things like that. They've got some really nice restrooms there as you come into the main entrance. So this park really does offer a lot of different things to keep you busy, to keep you occupied, but yet it's still quiet enough that if you're a camper who's just looking for peace and quiet, it's going to be a great park for you as well. It's a park that really does offer a little bit of everything. We hear that a lot, like this park offers a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but this one truly offers a little bit of everything. And no matter what you're into, if it's biking, hiking, fishing, horseback riding, or just a relaxing camping vacation, you need to check out the Big Eau Pleine County Park as you head out to be one of Wisconsin's outdoor explorers. Again, I'm not putting myself on a schedule for podcasts. When I have good content, I'm going to put it out there. So please, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, do that. Leave me a review and tell me what you think, and tell your friends. Let's spread the word about Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer. Join the Facebook group because, we're growing there and we want more people to interact and share their stories of being outdoors there. So we're growing every day, and that's a lot of fun for me. And I hope you're enjoying the podcast, and I hope you stick around because I'm going to have some more guests back on here real shortly that are going to share their stories of the outdoors, give you more ideas of what to do outdoors and how to enjoy the outdoors in Wisconsin. Thanks again for joining me. I'm your host, Jason, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks for listening to the Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and don't forget to give us a review. And now you can be one of Wisconsin's outdoor explorers. Join our Facebook group and share your favorite places to get outdoors in Wisconsin. You can also share photos, videos, and get in on the conversation as one of Wisconsin's outdoor explorers.